I built my net worth to $250,000 at 20 years old. Hi, my name is Tiffany, also known as Beauty and a Builder. If you guys don't know me, I've grown an audience of over 250,000 lovely people over on TikTok, and I thought what better way to connect with you guys a little better than to start a YouTube channel showing everything that I did. The steps that we're gonna take in this video is the blueprint to wealth. How do you even come up with these ideas to make this much money? Number two, we gotta build our capital in order to build our net worth because money makes money. Numero tres, how do you deal with things when they go wrong? Because they go wrong a lot of the time and you need to know how to react quickly in order to get the best results. And lastly, how to make your money work for you and the creative ways that I've gotten into in order to make my net worth that big. Since this is my first ever video, go ahead and click that red button. That way you guys don't miss any of my future videos, and go ahead and follow me on TikTok because that's where I'll be posting all of the updates from the projects that I'm mentioning in this video right here. The blueprint to wealth. Obviously, it's a little different for everyone depending on where you're starting out. Anything is really possible if you really set your mind to it, and I know that sounds super cliche. I will say I couldn't have found the deals that I found. I couldn't have saved enough money without the mentality behind getting ready for that. Personally, me, when I like to get inspired and get in that mindset of abundance and just getting good deals, especially in real estate, is watching other young entrepreneurs. Like, you can learn a lot from them. You can kind of pick and choose their creative ways to approach certain situations. It really gives you a pathway to see how many different options you have when you're making the money to then invest in real estate or how you're investing. Obviously, my first project ever was my tiny house because I was just looking at tiny houses because I thought they were cute, but I never thought I could actually build one. I started thinking a little bit more on the money side of things, and to build a tiny house, I did some research. It's really not that expensive. If you want to build a tiny house and you're doing most of the work yourself and you just have to buy material and things, you could possibly get one for about $20,000. It is pretty affordable considering that you're going to be living mortgage free and rent free, so you're going to be able to save up all of your income. If for some reason I didn't live in it, I could either rent it, Airbnb, or long-term renting, or I could just sell it, which I would make a heck of a profit. One of my favorite ways to get inspired and to get creative with how you can invest without having a lot of money are watching YouTube videos. I just learn from other entrepreneurs. Number two is TikTok, which I absolutely love because it's short form, it's condensed. You can get short bits of information, see if it's worth your time, and then you can further investigate on Google, YouTube. And number three is just talking to other people, realtors, investors, lawyers, anyone who you can get your hands on. Go out, talk to people. You never know what they have to say and whether it's going to inspire you to learn more about that topic. So now we're inspired, we're getting our creative juices flowing as to how we're going to make this much money turn into this much money. Now we gotta actually start building our wealth. So unless you're a little nepotism baby, you're probably not gonna have any money to start off with. You gotta get a job first and make some real money with some real sweat and tears. Obviously, depending on where you live and the opportunities that you've come across, this can look like you need to save up $5,000, like $10,000, like $100,000. For me personally, I did work 3 jobs for about 3 years. I was working literally 24/7, but I did also accumulate quite a bit of money that I could then invest into real estate. The next very important step is to actually go out and talk to other people. Google isn't going to answer all of your questions, and they're not going to give you the knowledge that some people that might be a little bit older than us actually have. These are some of the things that I would do if I were starting over, just because I feel like these are the best ways to get the most information out of the least amount of time. Number one is offering personal assistance help to another investor because you're going to learn from whatever they're doing. Number two, taking care of people's social media. You're kind of like their personal assistant, except you're not making them coffee. Instead, you're just taking care of their social media platform. Every business owner needs one. If they don't, you need to offer it to them, and the little bit that you can learn online is just enough for you to get in the door. You can make money, learn more, your own business to potentially get some real big clients, real big deals. And when I say you want to network with people, I mean this very seriously. For example, when I first bought my mobile home, I didn't know a thing or two about tax details, and I had found about $50,000 worth of liens that I didn't know whether I was or was not responsible for paying. I called a lawyer, who then called a lawyer, who then called a lawyer, who then gave me some advice that was very beneficial, and he told me that any civil court cases also wouldn't apply which is what mine was in particular, and he said whatever's on that paper isn't necessarily what you have to pay. Plus, if you get a quick claim, you can just get rid of the whole thing and have a clean title to the property. That advice is worth absolute gold, and I wouldn't have gotten there unless I called. Obviously, $250,000 is a lot of money, but it was not easy to get to, and I will say that I did have a lot of problems. However, I think one of the best skills that I acquired through this whole process was the fact that I can now analyze what I need to do in a certain situation to see what the outcome is going to be and how much money and time I'm going to spend. You can never get too creative with your solutions. Entering the end move should save you either money or time. An example of this is for the house that we just bought that we're working on flipping. Obviously, when you win the bid, depending on the website, auction site that you're using, you're entitled to purchasing that home for that price. However, in this case, Hubzu.com doesn't work like that, and the bank actually had the option to deny our offer and start a reserve price after the bidding had already gone on. Obviously, it's their house, their rules, so we ended up playing with the game. We offered them their minimum bid price to see if they would even accept that. They ended up accepting our lowest offer, which I think was the lowest that they would have taken on the house anyways. It was a good price, not the best price, but it was a good price. While we were negotiating that deal, the bank was pretty stingy on how they were gonna work out the finances for it, but we ended up asking for seller's concessions, so even though we paid more for the house than we were willing to, we did get some money back in order to help with the renovations, so it all worked out in the end. Sometimes you just have to think a little bit outside the box. Now we actually have to make the money. Obviously, for me, it wasn't built overnight. I decided 2 years ago when I was 18 that I was gonna build a tiny house. I was invested at that tiny house for about $15,000 is what I budget that I would spend on it, and hopefully have a resale price of about $55,000 to $65,000. My mobile home, as you guys know, I bought that plot of land for about $12,000 off of a tax deed sale, and even the lot itself would have made me a bit of money because the plots of land around here are costing a lot more than that. However, I did want to go an extra step further and put a house on it after I saw another TikTok video showing how to move a used mobile home onto your own property. Now, if I were to just get a regular mobile home straight from a manufacturer, it would have cost me about $90,000, which was a lot over my budget, and I did not have that kind of money to spend. This is where all the creativity is kind of starting to blend in. We have a tiny house, we have a plot of land that we bought at a tax deed sale, and we have a mobile home that was used that I then had to renovate. And now the property is worth over $150,000. Based on my initial investment, that is a pretty good deal. Now, going into the third house, which is Bluey, me and my mom, we're always looking at real estate deals, right? And we just happened to come across this house. We saw the starting bid for a very good price. We thought, hey, it's around the corner, let's go take a look. Beautiful house, needed minimal work done. We thought it would be a great idea to invest. However, she did not have enough money. I did not have enough money. We couldn't buy the house. Since each of us couldn't buy the house separately, we decided to join forces with another partner as well. That way, with all three of us, we were able to have enough money to bid on this house. That is exactly what happened. Obviously, we always analyze the deal before we purchase it, and we knew that there was money to be made in this house, and we're hoping to get, or at least my portion, $25K out of this deal. I'm so excited because we're currently working on it, and it should be very finished soon. So if you guys want a tour of that, let me know down below. Hopefully this video helped you get inspired in order to start your real estate investing journey. And I want to hear from you guys whether you think that it was luck that got me all of this, or that you think my creative thinking and how I went about everything is what got me all of this. Let me know your opinions down in the comments. If you guys want to see these projects that I talked about a little more in depth, you can go ahead and check out my TikTok that's linked down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel too, that way you don't miss any future videos, and I really hope to see you guys next time. Mwah.